Hey guys, hello everyone. Welcome back. It's good. It feels great to be back. It feels really amazing to be back. Welcome back to Echo FX, everyone. Big apologies for staying away for too long. There were a lot of background works towards building that level of consistency and the likes. But I mean, I feel excited. I feel great. I feel good to be back live. Recording or trying to bring towards the weekly rundown or the rundown for the week in regards to the market and the likes. So a lot has been happening. Well, this video may be kind of a little bit long. We have a lot of catching up to do. We have a lot of activities, a lot of things going on around the world that we need to catch up on. So this video might be a little long, but I promise I will try to make it short. But I'll try to make it really really short. But we have a lot to talk about, and a lot has been happening. From in fact, it started from last year due to the election in the United States. Donald Trump winning the election. This year, his inauguration, he has been implementing a lot of things in the United States that has been causing a whole lot of uncertainties, panics, a whole lot of volatility has been coming into the market. And if we've been trading since beginning of the year, we must have observed those imbalances in the market, uncertainty in the market. We see gold creating all-time highs. We see a lot of happenings, a lot of things, and I feel excited because very soon I know things will begin to take its balance, things will begin to calm down, and we'll have a clearer vision to the market. So I bring to you but I bring back to you the weekly rundown so we could have a clear idea of what to expect for the week. I hope you're excited about that. I am. I am really excited about that. So, like usual, if you're new to the channel or you've been with us from the very beginning or from the very start, and you are yet to subscribe or you haven't shared our videos to a fellow trader, family, friend, or anything, come on, do that. I mean, you're gonna be getting a lot of value, a lot of information from this space, and you can just subscribe to the channel. Yeah, you can subscribe to the channel, like the video, like this particular video. Yes, click on the like button. Yeah, all right. So, and also share with your friends and put down a comments. Put something down in the comment section. All right, guys. So let's go straight into the video. I'm sure you can hear that excitement in my voice. Well, I'm actually really excited. All right, because a lot of things, a lot of opportunities are going to be presenting themselves this year, a lot of money to be made also. All right, if you're really excited, I want you to follow till the end. All right, so like I said, a lot of things has been happening in the United States. Donald Trump with the whole implementing tariffs here and there in different countries: Canada, Mexico, Colombia, China, even the European Union. So a lot of things happening, and we'll clearly see it in the markets. Well, we'll go into the market very soon. But before we go there, let's look at what we have for the week. So this week is going to be quite an exciting week, right? It's going to be quite an exciting week because we had CPI and PPI come out last week. That's the Consumer Price Index and Producer Price Index for the United States, and it showed. Let's just quickly look at it. All right. So this was last week. You can see the CPI came out, shows that inflation in the United States is actually increasing. Also from the consumer part, and also from the producing part, we see inflation rising in the United States, and that has been, well, ideally. That should actually give a certain level of strength to the dollar, because it means that um, there will be a pause in rate cuts as the interest rate. I mean, they would want to cut interest rate again instead of looking to hike the rates to combat increasing inflation. But we saw the exact opposite happening in the markets. All right, we'll look into that very soon. So, but let's look at what we have for this new week. All right, so we're having quite an exciting week. On Monday, there's going to be bank holiday from Canada and US. All right, but even when there's bank holiday, we also see the market still moving. So don't be too surprised when you see Canadian instruments moving or US instruments moving. We're gonna still see volatility or movement in the market. But on Tuesday, we're gonna be having interest rate or cash rate from the Australian zone. All right. So AED by early hours in the morning on Tuesday, they're gonna be releasing their interest rate. Then going into that same Tuesday, early morning by 8 a.m., although all of these times are GMT plus one, all right, West African time. So we're going to be seeing claimant count change, which is almost the same thing as unemployment claims from the UK region. All right, so going into that same day, Tuesday, we're going to be having CPI, the Consumer Price Index from the Canadian zone. All right, so be expecting some level of volatility because Canada seems to be, well, one way or the other, the economy seems to be coming back on their feet, right, slowly and gently, and would clearly see that. Although Donald Trump slapped or smacked about 25 percent tariffs on Canada, but there were talks, and that tariff was actually retracted and extended for till 1st of March. All right, so and we'll clearly see that the Canadian instrument, although was weak, but later gathered a lot of momentum, and we see a lot of strength in the Canadian currency. We'll go into that very soon. So, but going into Wednesday, we're having the wage price index from the Australian. Then we're having interest rate also from the New Zealand zone, right? Then on that same Wednesday, early hours of the morning, 8 a.m., we're having CPI. Then we're going to be having FOMC, where we'll be having a clear direction of what or how interest rate is going to look like going forward in the United States. So on Thursday, we're having employment change and unemployment rate also from the Australian. So a lot of news from the Australian region. So you should be looking to actually, more or less, some people are kind of restrictive when it comes to news or when there are fundamentals in a particular currency pair. So if you are a comfortable trader, you call it comfortable, trading news, because the way I look at news, they more or less give momentum to the market. So you do your basic analysis, then do your normal trading. If you are trading the right direction, the news propels the market in that particular direction. That is my thought process, all right, and it has been working for me, all right. So a lot of news. So if you are, comfortable trading in line with news. All right, you should be looking at trading Australian instruments for the new week. And last week, I made a lot of money trading GBP AUD, right? Because we're seeing, well, a kind of two strong instruments. We see GBP being weak, and we see Australian, although the Australian dollar or the Australian economy, they are getting back on their feet. There were some basic issues, but they seem to be getting back on their feet. But we'll look into that also. So on Thursday also we're having unemployment claims, right, from the US zone. Then on Friday we're going to be having flash manufacturing PMI and services manufacturing PMI from the Eurozone, from the UK zone. Then we have core retail sales from the Canadian region, and also the same flash manufacturing and flash services PMI from the US zone, and that would most likely bring the week to an end. So are we ready to go to the charts, guys? All right, yeah, I am. So let's go into the chart. Right. So the first thing, like we always do, is to look at the dollar index. So we'll clearly see that even since the beginning of the year, since the beginning of the year, we must have been seeing a certain level of weakness in the dollar, right? You can see. So this was let's look at it. This was at the beginning of the year. So the dollar was a little bit kind of strong, then started to fall. This was when Donald Trump, implemented the tariffs. We saw a huge spike on the dollar, but since then we've seen a decline in the strength of the dollar. All right. So what do we expect? What do we anticipate? Well, with all of those uncertainties, personally, I'm looking at a little bit of further weakness in the dollar, a little bit, right? Not long term, but just temporarily. We see this particular region here that we potentially may see price coming into. This is a demand zone, all right? This is clearly a demand region because we can see how price responded to this level previously. We saw a huge rally to the upside. So definitely if price should come back into that zone, which is something like this, if price should come back into the region, then definitely would could see higher prices on the dollar, right? So let's go down to a lower time frame. Let's see how it looks like. So what does this mean hypothetically? All right, what does this mean? This means that there could be some further weakness on so from further downside in the dollar, right? You can see some further downside in the dollar. So, and I'm actually betting on that because like I said, we saw a rising interest rate, so a rising inflation in the US, but we could actually see that it didn't really give any momentum to the dollar. But because of those uncertainties with the USD, we've clearly been seeing some decline in the dollar, and that could potentially continue until price, comes into a region like a demand region where we could see some, interesting price action happen. So, how do you get in on the sell, on the further sell? How do you get in for the sell? Well, that could be pretty easy. You just look for the most recent price action, which is somewhere around this region here, this point here. Exactly. So this is where I want price to come in to take further sales to the downside, right? So I've been waiting for a little bit of upsides to this region, then I can look for bearish price action. Then I'm looking to take my sales all the way further down here. So most likely from here. Let me kind of, yep. So exactly like this. So I'm looking to take sales down to this region over here, right? So this is where I'm interested in taking my profit because this at this level we could see some potential we could actually see some potential reversals to the upside. So buy, just be patient for price to buy a little bit, then take your look for selling opportunities down here. So this is for dollar index, and we all know that the dollar index and Euro USD they are what and opposite. So when you see the dollar index, all right, when you see the dollar index buying, that means we'll see Euro USD selling off. And when we see when we see Euro USD buying, or when we see the dollar index selling, we'll see Euro USD buying. So, like I said, if you take the dollar index, turn it upside down, you're going to get Euro USD, all right? So, anything that you think was going to happen to the dollar index, the opposite is going to happen to Euro USD. So, let's look at it together. So, on Euro USD, we can clearly see if you go to daily time frame, although you clearly see on the daily time frame on Euro USD that price is actually has actually more or less encountered a like a supply region or a resistance at this point, but there's another level of resistance just above here, exactly just above that level. So but we're more interested in where price currently is because it's going to give us a clearer or an idea of what markets may actually do later on. So if you look at it, let's scale down to a lower time frame. We've kind of boxed in price at this point. We boxed in the market. So if you go to a 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see that the market has more or less been in range. What do I mean by that? Market actually sold all the way down here, came came all the way back up, sold all the way back down, came all the way back up. What do you ideally expect? There's a possibility that we'll see market coming all the way back down here. So now this is what you should be doing. You should be kind of be very, very careful. All right. So how are you very, very careful? You may not be able to do anything here. You want to go to a lower time frame to see a better detail of what the market has been doing. So if you look at it clearly, the market just got into this box. So you don't want to be selling immediately. You want to see volatility coming. When I say volatility, what do I mean? If you go back a little bit, you will see when price came into that level, what do you see? You see volatility. You can see some huge candles, some huge green candles. At this point, you see some huge red candles, right? Which shows that the sellers are ready to take the market back down. So let's go again. At this point, when the market, you can see some huge volatility, right? You can see some big candles coming. So that's what I mean. You want to be very, very careful. And also at this point, when price came into this support region, what happened? You can see this huge green candle coming, which shows that the market is ready to actually push away. So the same way, we can see the candles are still very, very tiny at this point. So if you want to join in for the sales, right, what you want to see is large, some huge, big red candles coming. Once you see that, then that is a clear um is a clear influence or a clear confluence that the market is ready to go down, right? So when you see that happening, what you do is you can look towards taking your sales and looking at the market trading all the way back down. And if that should happen, we may likely see s- sales all the way down here throughout next week, throughout this week rather. All right. But if that doesn't happen, this is what we should see. We should see Euro USD pulling up back to this particular daily region. All right. So, and how do you join it? When you see price break above like this highs at this point, yeah, those are like those important highs you can see. So when it breaks above the region, breaks above it somewhere around, let me give a price point, somewhere around 1.0535, yeah, 1.0535 or 1.0540. All right, when price breaks above that region, we could actually take our buys all the way back to 1.0600, right, for Euro USD. So that is my easy, I made it very easy for us to actually take. So that is my easy outlook on Euro USD for this coming week. All right, hope it's clear enough. So let's go to the next instrument. So we're looking at USD JPY. Yes, USD JPY. So JPY has been kind of very strong because of some rising interest rates in the Japanese economy, right? But that's kind of been some ways or somehow uncertain, right? Uncertain, but that's not the problem. All right, we'll be clearly looking at it from a technical standpoint. So, from a daily time frame, what can you see? What can you see with the eyes of a trader? What can you see? All right, so um, I can actually clearly see more or less this support region here, which looks like price is targeting, right? Looks like price is pointing towards that level. All right, so where's the next level above? Maybe somewhere around here. So we see we've boxed in price, right? We've boxed in price. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame. Let's look at what's happening on the 4 hours. Sorry for the slow internet. I don't know what's happening, but um, well, we just have to use it like that. But things are going to get better though. So we can clearly see that the market is really pointing towards the downside, and we can see some lower lows, right? We can see lower lows over here. We can see this low. We can see this low also. Uh, you can see these lows. Can also see this low down here. So definitely, most likely, price is coming to create another low. All right, that looks clear, right? Believe so. Let's delete this. Let's delete this also. All right. So now, how do we get into the sell? That is like the trick question, right? If we had maybe another idea, maybe we got into a trade earlier around this point, this would have been a perfect point to go into a sell, like this region here or somewhere around here. Exactly. Because you can see this was like when price traded below this low, what happened? It came back to retest it, and what's happening? You can see the market drop further down. Well, so how do we get in? Let's go to a lower time frame. Let's see if there's anywhere we can look to go in. All right. So if I was the one, where I would have been looking to take a sell is probably somewhere around this point. There was kind of a struggle. You can clearly see that when price came into this region, somewhere around here, you can see how price struggled, right? It struggled to go further down until this final break. So definitely price may want to come into this region before we see some further downside. So how you go into the sell is very easy at price or at market open, by early hours of today, or late hours of today rather. Want to see price buy a little bit, then you can look for some selling opportunities and take this market down. Yeah, this market should go down, right? So I personally have been on a sell since around, if I'm not mistaken, I think somewhere around here. Yes, I've been in on a sell somewhere around here. I'm still holding my positions, right? I'm still holding my positions, and I'm looking to take the market all the way down here. So I'm actually a swing trader. I find it difficult to scalp, or I'm not. I don't go into the market, exit the same day, except probably market takes out my stop loss. I look at the big range, right? I like holding my position because I mean that's where the money is. All right, guys. So sorry about that once again. So like I was saying, the flow of the market USD JPY has been clearly to the downside, right? So I don't really have other buyers, right? I'm just more focused on the sales. So like I said, how do you get in on the sell, right? You can see how the market has kind of been struggling around this region. You can see how price has been selling slowly, steadily, but when it got here, you can see how it took a lot of time before it eventually broke above, sorry, below that region. So definitely want to see the market come back there a little bit, which could give us a good entry price. Then we can take the market down here. So like I said, I've been selling this market somewhere around here, and I'm still holding my positions, right? So I'm looking at selling all the way down here. I'm more or less like a swing trader. That's where the real money is. So I'm going to take the market all the way down here. So that is actually my view or my overview on USD JPY. So like I said, we're going to be looking at an Australian dollar based instrument. And I think this is like the first time I'll be looking at a minor currency pair. So I'm going to be looking at GBP AUD, right? So let's just quickly change this outlook. Right, yeah, perfect. All right, good. So for GBP AUD, like I said, the flow of GBP AUD has been kind of weak, kind of. You can see the flow of the market has been to the upside, right? But the market has more or less kind of, pound has been very strong, right? Has been very strong, but the market is kind of doing a retracement at this point. So we could possibly see the market come all the way, maybe possibly back to this region. So, but let's just look at it from a 4 hour time frame. Let's see how it is. All right, waiting for the network, waiting for the network. I have no idea why the network is so slow. Wow, wow. All right, let's look at it from 1 hour perspective. All right, so from the 1 hour perspective, so we can see that the market was kind of in a downtrend, but now has changed buyers, or more or less has changed, and is more or less like in an opposite direction at this point. So, how do we get in if we want to take a trade? How do we get in on the buy? Where do we buy from? So, if you want to take in the buy, this is the first level I'll be looking at. Like, if you want to take a buy, there's somewhere around here, right? There's also a region around here, right? We can clearly see this point here on the 1 hour. So these are the two levels I'll be looking to take a buy from. So if market comes into this point and you don't see a clear level to buy, right, and market breaks below, this is the next level we'll be looking to take a buy. So this is the buyers, very easy, right? Nothing too complicated. Is that you take a buy from here, or you wait to take a buy from here, still back to the upside, right? So those are like the two ideas I have for GBP AUD. All right. So I just want to keep it really, really easy and simple. So let's look at one commodity or two commodities and um one indices, right? Probably the US 100, right? So I wouldn't fail to look at gold, right? The gold market has been very exciting, created a new all-time high this year. So you can see gold creating, this was the all-time high gold created for 2024, but this year the market has clearly broken above it. So let's delete all of these lines. We don't need them, right? Yes, we don't need them. So the market created an all-time high again at somewhere around 29, let's look at it, 2943, right? And on Friday there was a massive retracement, or price shied away from that all-time high. So let's look at it. Where's the ideal point that gold may get to before it keeps buying? So if we were to technically look at it, we could actually point out this level here. But we saying that gold is going to sell all the way down here, we may be asking too much from the market, right? We may be asking too much from the market, but anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. But let's look at it from the 4 hours perspective. Let's kind of see what the markets or what we can ideally anticipate. So on the 4 hour perspective, there are some other regions that you can clearly look at. There's this point here, right? There's this level here. So if you want to take a buy, or because you can see price, the cells are kind of getting bigger. I mean, we've not seen this length of candle in a very long time. All right, go back. This was the last time we saw a length of candle like that. The other bearish candles have kind of been small, 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 small. And now this candle is a long one. So there are two things. This could be a total retracement, or it's just market shying away and we could see further upside. So you want to be kind of extra careful on buys, because these are I tell most of the people that follow me. I tell them that when you're trading at all-time highs, you must be very, very, very cautious, because there's no basis for, or there's no ceiling for price, right? There's no ceiling for price. Price is just in, it's just on the air, right? The price is just on the air. Anything can, crash the market. So you must be kind of really, 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 really careful when you're trading all-time highs. So you must, so to trade for the buys, you want to get a basis for a buy. So if you're trading a buy from here, right, your ideal take profit point could now be, this is now a ceiling that the market has created around here, right? This now is ceiling, right? So if you're taking the buy from here, you know that okay, you could take a profit around here, then before the market maybe breaks out and keeps going high, or you could wait for price to come here, take a buy from here. There are now regions that you can look to take your profit, but just price at all-time highs may be kind of really, 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 really risky. So anyone that we're taking buys must have been caught up. The market has trapped them with their buys around this region. So what you can do, maybe you were buying and you've been trapped. What you can do is you can just possibly, I wouldn't say you take sales. Your risk level should just be somewhere below this level. So if you see the market breaking below, you may want to exit your buys, right? If you see market breaking below this region, you may look to exit your buys and possibly start looking for some short sales. You're not really sure if the market is changing the trend. It may just be a daily time frame retracement, right? So you can take a short sales before the market resumes its buys again. So that is my outlook for gold. So let's just look at the 1 hour perspective again to get a clearer view. So yeah, right, you can see that massive shine away from the upside, and there's this region here that you can look to take buys from to the upside, right? So let's look at lastly let's look at US 100. What has US 100 been doing? So let's take all of this off. Let's have our plain charts. So US 100 has been kind of, if you look at it from a daily perspective, it has been kind of not doing so much. There's just been a big massive daily range, right? A big, massive daily range compared to last year when we're seeing, you know, higher highs, all-time highs. But since November price, and since when after the election, right? After the Trump election, we've just been seeing the market going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But now on Friday, we can see this candle breaking out of that, breaking out of the consolidation, right? We can see a clear breakout of that, of the consolidation, which could potentially mean that price is ready for further upsides, right? Are you excited about that? I am. I'm excited about that because I'm a lover of indices. I'm a lover of US 100. So we can see that since November, or since, is it November? Yeah, since, okay, sorry, December, right? Since December, you can see that market has never traded at the price is currently at right now. So what that means is we could see some further upsides on US 100. So how do you get in? Now, for indices, if you're waiting for major retracement, you may not get that retracement. So what you want to ideally do is, when the market opens, probably its ranges, you may kind of see like a range, a tight range, then you can want to enter the breakouts, maybe something like this. Or if there's a little retracement, it's a gift. Or if you see ranges like this tight range, then when the market breaks out of the high, you can take a buy further to the upside. So that is one of the best way I get into my positions for the indices market. There are other tricks that I have, I make use of, but this is the easiest that I'm going to share for this particular video. So thank you very much, guys. I'm sure you're excited that we are back. Well, I am. I'm really, really excited that we're back, and we're going to be having an amazing year. Trust me. we're going to be having a blissful year full of profit, money everywhere. All right, so if you're still to the end of this video and you still are yet to subscribe, come on, what are you waiting for? What do you want? Zionti, I do give away. All right, but if you're still to the end, I'm actually grateful, but still support the channel. You can click on the subscribe button, like the video. I'm in fact, if I had the opportunity, I would have liked the video myself too. But yeah, come on, like the video, share with your friends, put down in the comments what you enjoyed about the video, or what instrument or which of the instruments you loved and you will be trading this coming week. All right, so thank you very much, guys. Um, I hope you have a profitable week ahead. Right, so trade safe, guys. Bye for now, and see you next week.